Today, we're going to explain how state legislation is passed. In other words, how does a bill become a law in the state of California? To be effective, it is important to understand the process that we are participating in. Keep watching to learn how a bill becomes a law in the state of California. The California State Legislature is a bicameral system, meaning it consists of two houses, the Senate and the Assembly. There are 40 Senate districts throughout the state of California, 80 Assembly districts, and one elected representative for each of these districts. Every resident of California has one senator and one assembly member. These representatives make up the California State Legislature and are responsible for passing state laws, the state budget, and advocating for their constituents, which is you. And what this might look like is passing legislative bills, resolutions, passing the budget to fund all California state agencies, including CDCR, or even casework assistance for all state agencies like CDCR. A bill starts as an idea or a bill proposal by an individual or in an organization. It is also common for a bill idea to come from the member themselves, one of their staffers, an event or traumatic incident in their district, or from an individual constituent story. Once the representative agrees to author a bill, it is introduced to the California State Legislature, where the Legislative Council puts it into legal language, which will essentially be the text of the bill, and a bill number is assigned. The bill number is how the bill is referenced throughout the legislative process. This part of the process usually takes place between January and February, but can start as early as December. Remember how the California State Legislature has two houses? Well, this is where it matters. If the bill is introduced by an assembly member, then the prefix before the bill number will be AB for Assembly Bill. This means the bill was introduced in the Assembly, and therefore the Assembly is the house of origin. All bills must pass out of their house of origin before going to the second house, which in this case would be the Senate. Alternatively, if the bill is introduced by a senator, then it will read SB for Senate Bill to indicate that the Senate is the house of origin. In this case, the bill must pass through the Senate before the Assembly. Once a bill is introduced, it is sent to the Rules Committee to be referred. Each bill is referred to at least one policy committee, but can be referred to up to 3 policy committees. Here, the bill is deliberated and voted on by the members of each policy committee. Most initiate justice and criminal justice reform bills will be heard by the Public Safety Committee. Some examples of these bills are AB 1509, AB 292, and AB 256. Some other policy committees include agriculture, education, elections and redistricting, which ACA 6 later became Prop 17, was referred to this committee because it related to elections, voting, and political campaigns. Some other examples are health, housing, human services, and transportation committees. Committees are a great opportunity to get involved and have your voice heard. You can submit letters of support, call in, or show up in person during normal operations to give your support or Me Too statements. If a bill has fiscal implications, meaning it will cost the state money, then after passing through the assigned policy committees, it will also go to the Appropriations Committee. This committee is where the members assess the fiscal impact of the bill. What monetary impacts will this bill have, and can the state afford to implement this law? Members of the Appropriations Committee vote on whether to pass the bill. If your member sits on the Appropriations Committee, it could be beneficial to contact them and urge your support during this part of the process. Each bill must pass all the committees it has been assigned to before it is finally proposed to the floor to be voted on by each representative of that house, the bill's house of origin. Once a bill is on the floor, every single member of that house will have the opportunity to vote in support or opposition. This is where a well-drawn argument in support of the bill is crucial, especially for bills that may not have majority support. This is why it is important that we each contact our representatives to urge your support on bills that we want to see passed, because they each have an impact on whether or not the bill passes. Representatives either already have their mind made up on how they are going to vote on a bill, or are listening to the argument of their peers to determine how they are going to vote. Once the bill passes the floor from its house of origin, it then repeats the same process in the second house. So, if it is an assembly bill, it will go through this process first in the assembly, and then again through the Senate. If it is a Senate bill, the process will happen in the Senate first, and then in the assembly. If significant amendments were made in the second house that substantially changed the bill will need to be sent back to the House of Origin for a floor vote to accept the amendments before passing the bill off to the next phase. This is called a concurrence vote. Once a bill passes through both houses of the legislature, it is sent to the governor to be signed. The governor has 30 days to sign the bill into the law. The governor then has 3 options. 1 is to veto the bill, in which the bill fails. 2, sign the bill and the bill becomes a law. Or 3, return the bill with no signature, in which it still becomes a law. Here's another opportunity to get involved by contacting the governor to sign on to the bill that you are trying to support. And this is how a bill becomes a law. How will you be using this in your daily advocacy efforts?